My apologies, everyone. Her name is Asia, not Aisha, as I refer to her throughout this interview. My apologies. Enjoy the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Trendy with Kim Allison. Today, we have a special guest. I'm so excited to introduce to you guys Miss Aysia Polk of
Hi.
Debonair Styles Hair Studio. She's a talented hairstylist who specializes in all textures of hair, excelling in color, braids, twist, hair cutting, brow lamination, waxing. Hell, she does it all, y'all. She serves a diverse, multicultural clientele and creates stunning work that speaks for itself. We're going to dive into her journey, her techniques, and what drives her passion for hairdressing. So let's get inspired. Without further ado, welcome to the show, Miss Aysia.
Thank you for having me, Kim. I am so excited. This is a great opportunity. This is such a cool show I've been watching, and I'm just so excited to be here. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. And, everybody knows by now if they've watched the show, I love a good underdog
Right?
experience. And we are all at this stage underdogs. And
Yep.
when I say that, I mean in relation to social media
Hmm.
and its class system and it's all the things, right? We're all trying to grow our audience, our community
Yep.
in this space.
Yep.
And really, just as a means, people that come on this show are passionate about helping others. And that's where my passion lies, to help the next generation of hair.
Hmm.
So if you are aligned with me, you are sitting next to me on the screen. So for that, again, I say thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
So, Aisha, let's get to you, which is why we're here. I cannot
Yes.
wait to dive into your amazing story. So,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about your background.
So I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I came to Phoenix, Arizona to go to cosmetology school. My mom was here first. She was trying to talk me into going to visit a school near her. And I'm like, girl, I'm not moving here, so it doesn't make sense to go look at the school. But I ended up falling in love with the school. It was Avalon Cosmetology off of 7th Street in Bell. It was a great school. I was a night student. And my plan was to go back to California after I finished school because I didn't think I would like Arizona, but I honestly ended up loving it. And then also I found out that I couldn't transfer the licenses from state to state. You have to take the
Mhm.
state board exam again. So I said, you know what? I have test anxiety. I'm gonna just stick it out, and I love it here. And I've grown a beautiful clientele and a great business. So it was the best thing that could have happened to me.
Oh,
So
I love that. And do you
yeah.
have a family? What's your
So yeah, no kids, no husband, a mom who's out here in Phoenix with me, and then my brothers and dad and everybody is back home in California.
Oh, I love that. Well, good for
Yeah,
you.
thank
Footloose
you.
and fancy free. Gotta love
Yes,
that.
yes.
So you
Love it.
told us a little bit about your hair journey and that you started at Avalon
Mhm.
Hair School. And what
Yes.
was your first salon experience? Like, how did you break through? How did you get
Okay.
into hairdressing?
So, the first thing after I went to school, I ended up realizing that I should probably do an apprenticeship because you only learn a little bit of things in beauty school. You know, you learn the basics. You learn highlighting, you learn solid color, gray coverage, the basics, but you don't learn all the fancy techniques that are out there now, like the balayage and all of the other things that, go with it. So, I decided to apprentice at a salon called Taglio Salon. They were located off of Scottsdale Road in Mayo. So I was an apprentice there. I did that for about a year. And that really did help me kind of like see the type of salon I wanted to work at, first of all, get that salon interaction and kind of shadow under senior stylists to kind of see how they're doing, check out all the different techniques. And they taught me all of the new stuff that's trending online and all these classes that are out there. They were able to take that extra time for an extra year and teach me all of those things so I could feel more confident just going out into the real world. Because you don't really feel so confident fresh out of school. You're still like, I'm a beginner because you practice a lot of stuff on mannequins. And, sometimes you don't get those in person models to practice certain stuff. So it's still very nerve wracking.
Yeah,
So,
so you'd say it's important, and this is what I've taught every person I've mentored
Mm-hmm.
to learn the business first before you jump out there and own your own suite. You know, a lot
Yes.
of people, they go into suite ownership because that's really the way to go these days, you
Mm-hmm.
know, are the most appealing.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're having your own business, but you're
Yeah.
still in a community setting.
Right.
But before you can really do that and succeed, it's really important that you learn the business first, or else how
Exactly.
do you know your own business? And much less you're not putting yourself in a position to succeed.
So I learned a little bit more about the business side once I left Taglio and I went to Chopper's Hair Salon. That was a really cool eclectic salon that was on the corner of Scottsdale and Shea. And the owner Kelly there, he set up a really amazing platform for us, but he kind of let us be our own boss. He let us kind of like do what we wanted and stuff like that, but he still had that strong, successful salon platform for us. And he really helped me build my clientele. I was the only one there who did hair extensions, and he set up a huge banner for me that was on the side of the truck that was facing the street, and I got so many call-ins and walk-ins for that. So thank you to Kelly and Choppers for
Oh,
helping
that's
me grow my
amazing.
business. Without him, there would be no me. I owe it all to
Hey,
him.
love that shout out. That's
Yes,
amazing. And
yes.
from there, you go into your own studio?
And then from there, yeah, I worked there for about 5 years. And I went from being a commission stylist there to then renting the chair there. And I did the renting of the chair for about 2 years just to see, because once you start renting the chair, you no longer can get call ins and walk ins. So I did the chair rental for about 2 years. And then I felt comfortable enough to go into my own private studio, which was directly across the street. So I didn't lose any clientele, which was
Oh,
amazing.
smart girl, smart girl.
Because sometimes when you do move locations, you can
Yep.
possibly lose up to 10% of your clientele because some people don't want to travel. So I was blessed in a sense. And I found this private studio over here at Valencia Salon Studios on Scottsdale and Shea intersection as well. And I have a storefront salon suite, excuse me, a salon suite, but I love it. It's perfect. I've expanded since I've taken over the suite next door to me as well. I cut a
Wow, look at
Yeah.
you.
So I've expanded a little bit. I've cut a hole in the wall, added a glass door so that while somebody's processing, I can take a men's haircut or something that will, or put someone else's color on something that's going to take me 30 minutes so I can maximize on my time and make the most amount of money that I can in that time frame. So it's been great.
That
I'm
is
super blessed.
awesome.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
super excited.
congratulations too, by
Thank
the way.
you.
Let's talk about your specialty in
Okay.
that you kind of do it all. Yeah.
I do. I do it all. I do everything from color corrections. I am a blonde specialist. I specialize in hair extensions. I do all types. Any type that there is to do, I can do it. Eye tips, keratin, braidless sew-in, braided sew-in, tape-ins, invisible beaded sew-in, like everything you can think of, I can do it.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, I also just got certified in my NSG hair replacement class. So therefore I'll be doing the man units for the men or men and women, excuse me, who have receding hairlines or thinning hair and things like that. It's kind of similar to like a toupee or a piece, but they can last up to like 5 weeks. And I teach you how to maintain it from home if needed and all of that stuff. I also do brow lamination. I do brow waxing, lip waxing. Um, and I specialize in kids. I love pixie haircuts. I do some braids. I do dreads. Um, Anything you could think of, I'm sure I can do it. I can put my
Well,
mind
let's
to it and
talk
get it
about this
done.
then. One of the things
Yes.
you do, beat it rose.
So the
So
beaded
you
rose,
sent me this.
I love that. That to me is almost my favorite technique. The way I do it, there's a lot of people who just kind of slide the beads just straight up and sew the weft on. I do kind of like a basket weave technique. I'd have to show it to you, but anyway, the way that I do it, the beads never slide down. They end up just growing out with how your hair grows, so they
Okay.
are able to be worn a lot longer than the ones that just slide up on the hair because those eventually start the weight of it starts to slide down and you have to get them redone a little bit faster. So,
Well, maybe one day I'll invite you back and you can kind of, I'll
yes,
come, walk us through that a little
I
bit because
would
that's
love
pretty
that.
cool.
I would love that.
And then, so you also do eye tips. Is that what
So
this is?
these are the keratin extensions. So these
Oh,
are the
these are
ones with the
beautiful.
keratin, which is like the glue that is keeping all the hair strands together. And then I use a tool that melts that keratin and I finger roll that with your hair and just kind of blend that in so it's seamless. And this technique here with extensions is the more versatile way to have extensions. You can do more ponytails. You have a lot more flexibility with how you want to style it with these kind.
Nice.
Mhm.
Okay, so how long does this service take?
So it depends. I have gotten to the point where I can get one pack of 25 strands in like 25 minutes or so. So typically for a full head of these, people are using anywhere between like 5 and 6 packs for a full head, depending on if you just want it for fullness or for length. Anytime there's length and fullness, we need a minimum of 6 packs for sure.
And then how long does this last?
So this, some of my gals, they tend to wear them a bit long, but but as long as you're taking care of the new growth and making sure you're keeping it detangled and untwisted as your hair is growing down, these typically never fall out. These just grow out with your hair. So as long as you're taking care of that new growth and making sure it's not twisting up and dreading, then you can wear these for at least 3 months. 3 is my
Nice.
cap. 3 is my cap. I'm like, please come back. But I have had girlies who have had them for 5 and they're grown to their shoulder. They're like, but it's still good. But I'm like, no,
And you're
no,
like,
no.
no, your hair might not be.
Your hair and your hair's not strong enough to hold that. But I would say 3 months cap, then come in and let's reassess the situation
And
for
what
sure.
would something like this cost? One.
So I charge per pack of installation. So I do charge about $85 per pack for install. So 85 times if you need a full head, about times 6. That would be how we would price that there. And it does come with a complimentary blending cut. So I don't charge extra for that. And I will complimentary style curl however you'd like to leave. I'll make sure you look like that picture.
I love it. And let me
Yes.
back up real quick before I go
Mhm.
on to some of your other slides and to
Okay.
get that information for this one as well. How much would
Yes.
something like this cost and how long can you wear the look?
So that look, I say like, come in about 8 to 10 weeks to get them moved up. Like I said, once again, some girlies abuse it because they are so locked in and they don't feel like they're slipping and sliding. So some girlies will leave them longer, which is fine. I just say if you have a little bit more than an inch of grow out, please take a fine tooth comb and still comb that new growth to make sure it's not getting matted. And then, but I would say come back in a healthy way, 8 to 10 weeks to get those moved up.
Okay,
Mhm. Yep.
perfect. So let's
And
go on.
that the price for that is $150 per bundle for the install.
Got you.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's go on to this guy. So you do color corrections or
Oh,
fashion colors.
yes. So
And
this
what
young
what would you
lady,
consider this?
so this young lady here, she waited about 2 years to get her bleach retouch fixed. So and she had quite a bit of new growth. So we went on ahead and we did a highlight technique here, like a very close blended, almost solid looking highlight there, and just did that beautiful mermaid fashion teal for her. And it was so beautiful.
Oh
So
my
beautiful.
gosh, it's so,
Yes.
so gorgeous. And so
So
how
gorgeous.
long would is that going to last her? And what do you send her home with instruction wise
So
to
as
achieve
long
this?
as Okay, so as long as she's using cold water when she's shampooing, this color can stay vibrant for at least 2 months, until you might start seeing a little bit of fading. There are color depositing shampoos that you can help kind of maintain the vibrancy of the color that I can always recommend, just depending on the color that the client gets. Then I can refer you to a brand because not all color depositing shampoo brands have that color. So with this young lady, she probably will maintain it with a color depositing shampoo, and she comes in for her bleach retouches every 8 to 10 weeks to make sure that she doesn't go 2 years again. Because the longer you wait, the more money you have to pay because
Hello,
it's a
that
lot more work for
part.
me and a lot
Uh,
more
y-
product to use. So
yeah,
yeah.
tell me about it.
Mhm.
Alrighty, so moving right along, let's look at your where do we want to go next? Let's box
Great.
braids.
Box braids. Yes, I love braids. Um, I won't do like a million. So if you want like micro braids of any kind, I am not your girly. But I can do large to medium box braids. I feel very comfortable. And this was a very cool little dude here, and he just decided to take his fade up a little bit higher. He had more of a lower taper initially. He wanted to take his fade up a bit higher and get this sort of box braid look, which came out so clean. It looks so
So
fantastic.
clean.
I love it.
So good. So pretty.
Yes. Thank you.
And then we have also
So this lovely gal here, she got that infamous money piece, and we did some high and low lights here to give like a nice kind of blendy, melty look. That's quite dimensional, as you can see. And then we did do some extensions here. So we did the keratin that we showed before, the ones that melt to the hair. So we did that technique for this young lady here for the versatility, and came out amazing. Looks so
the
pretty.
other your other work. You do brow lamination, you do dreads, you color the
Yes.
dreads,
Yes.
you um yeah, you
I
go.
love
What
it.
I guess what don't you do at this point?
All
Yeah.
right.
And I love that you do everything. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
I just don't do the micro braids. There we
Just
go.
not the
Not
microblades,
the
but
micro
the
braids. I can't.
micro. I said blades, but it's braids
The
because you
braids.
don't microblade either.
I do not microblade eyebrows either. That's too
Can
much.
you share with us, not that you have a favorite
Yeah.
technique, but perhaps you have a favorite product line or brand that you like to work with? What
Let's
are
see.
they?
I I love Wella Color. They have the best gray coverage for me that I've noticed, and they still have a lot of shine to their color. I use that for a lot of my permanent color. When I'm dealing with reds and copper tones, I do like Goldwell's color for that. And when I'm using toners for blondes, I use Redken shades.
Okay.
So
And do you leave it on for the full 20 minutes? I always ask every single person, although my
which
audience
which
is probably like Kim, stop asking. But no, I'm asking.
which one? Because nothing is 20 minutes, really. Like my permanent colors are sitting for 30. If
No,
you have
Redken. I'm talking
oh,
about
Redken.
toner.
So
Toner.
toners, no, I leave toners between 5 and 8 minutes max.
And you don't
Some people,
have fadage issues or anything like that?
not that I know. No.
Perfect. Because
Not
the
really.
product line will tell you leave it on for 20 minutes for, maximum results or to prevent color fadage, but no one does. That is the
Yeah, no,
consensus.
because sometimes that 20 minutes can change the whole outlook of the situation. Like, I sometimes watch it, I'm standing over it, like, okay, that's it, 2 minutes, that's it.
Yep, you're
Because
done.
yeah, sometimes I'm like using something like if they're pulling very copper or red, I'm using something that has like green and blue undertones. So I don't want to leave it too long. And those tones, instead of canceling out the brass, they start depositing. I just try to make sure that I just do it just enough to get the color that I'm going for. So,
Love it.
yes,
And you do a multicultural clientele, which is
yes,
near and dear to me because as do
yes,
I.
yeah.
How did that come to be? Did you just when you went into it, because as women of color, we can
Mhm.
get, roped into only doing women of color.
Yeah.
And so I like to refer to myself as a stylist, or not a black stylist, but a
Mhm.
stylist who happens to be black, because
Exactly.
they are two different things.
Very true.
And you have stylists like the amazing stylist I interviewed yesterday, Trinity
Mhm.
Lewis over in
Mhm.
LA. She
Yeah.
only works with textured hair. She only works with black women,
Okay.
and that's amazing, right?
Yeah. That is
She
great.
she said she loves all of the different things that our texture can do,
Yeah.
and that's her wheelhouse. That's her specialty.
I
And
love that. I love
but
that.
for people like me and you, I
Mhm.
guess it really depends on how you entered the industry to begin with.
Right, right. I got a lot of my clients through word of mouth.
Yeah.
If they didn't come into me off of seeing my profile online when I worked at Shoppers, like some people would look online to see what stylist they had, and they would choose who they wanted based on the bio and the experience and so forth. Some people were like, "Oh, I came to you. I saw you were black. I figured you would African
Right.
American, excuse me, but I figured you'd be able to handle my textured hair." And like I have some girlies, that are Dominican, and they're like, "Oh, you have textured hair like me. I'm sure you can handle this." So, and then everyone else kind of just word of mouth. A friend of a friend was like, "Hey, she can handle you. She's got you." Because apparently it's hard to find people who deal with textured hair out here in
It is
Arizona.
true,
But
especially
I
here in Arizona, apparently, huh?
exactly. And I started on textured hair. So honestly, that was what I started on. I started doing myself and everybody back home. And so it wasn't until I came here until I started working with all types of hair. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it does have to do with your demographic.
yeah.
Not just your desires, but
Yes.
if you want to thrive in a certain area, you
Mhm.
best be learning how to cater to that clientele, or else
Exactly.
it becomes really difficult.
Yes.
What are some of the unique challenges and rewards of working with different hair textures?
Let's see. The challenges and rewards. The challenges are being able to see like results. Like I love to see before and afters. You know what I mean? People come to me with like bedhead, like, "Oh my God, make it better."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I love all of it, to be honest. Like
Have
there's
you
no.
ever met a hair texture that you were just like, "Oh my freaking Lord,
Yeah,
help." Like,
yeah. But
what is these gonna do with this?
I just had a poker face and I said, "Okay, I'm ready if you are." We just got started. It might have taken longer than I intended. I might have had to call a couple of clients afterwards and push their appointment back a little bit, but it all worked out. I always try to give everybody at least an hour heads up, like, "Hey, I'm running a little late because I can see that I'm knee deep in a project here that is not going as planned." So it's okay.
Yeah, and in the end, I like to say, "I'm smarter than the hair."
Right.
God,
I got
I
this.
mean, I gotta be I'm gonna figure this out.
I'm gonna figure this out. Like nothing intimidates me. Like it might be a shock initially, but I'm like, let's tackle it. Let's get it done.
I
Because
love
I
it.
I do anything I put my mind to. So if you give me a challenge, I accept. Let's go.
Hey, I
Yeah.
love that. How do you
Yes.
manage client expectations to ensure they leave your chair happy?
Oh, that's a good question. Because
Mm.
yeah, I have decided to start. I had to learn this over time with trial and error, but stop over promising and under delivering. You know what I mean by that? Like
I
I used to
do.
look,
Under
I used to.
promise and over deliver. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
well, I
needs to
used
be the
to no, I
reverse.
used to overpromise and underdeliver. Like someone would show me a picture, like this is what I want, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, easy," like because I know how to do blonde, I got you. But a lot of people are not really honest with the consultation and the history of the hair, so
Mm.
you might run into challenges and roadblocks that are not going to help you get to that goal in one sitting. So some people would leave a little bit, they thought they were going to leave platinum blonde today, but you're leaving more caramel, you know.
Yeah.
So now I'm just, reevaluating how I do the consultations, and I'm letting people know, like, listen, like, I understand that's your goal. It's beautiful. We're going to work together to get there. Let's see how light we get today. And then we can go from there and see how many more sessions we'll need to achieve your goal, so that they're more open to like
Yeah.
what it can be. People still
I
want
mean,
you to tell them like, is it
that's
going to look like
true.
this or this? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. So yeah.
No, great answer.
Yeah.
Great answer. So
Mhm.
what's your approach to building and maintaining strong relationships with the clients that sit in your chair?
I'm just me. Like I do not switch up for work or outside. Like I'm me. People kind of just gravitate to my energy. Like I'm fun. Like I'm relatable to all ages, all races. You know what I mean? Like I totally find some kind of common ground with everybody, and we end up becoming family at the end of the situation. And all of my clients, like they'll tell you, like literally, not one of them has not hang out with me outside of work. Like
Oh,
we all do something outside of this. So it's like a big family, and I just love it. I love what I do.
yeah. I Some of my best friends started off as my clients.
Same. My very best friend
Yeah.
right now. She started off as my client, and now they're
Yeah, and
like
I had a
our
friend,
kids.
she works in corporate America. She said Well, a lot of year, and we didn't, I mean, we've known each other just organically
Yeah.
before outside of hair and longer than I've known any of the hair clients that became
Yeah.
friends. But some I've been friends with now for over a decade. And
Yes.
she said one time, she says, well, all of your friends are your clients. And I thought, well, I know people don't look at hairdressing as a job and a lot of
Right.
people don't take it serious, right?
Right. Right.
You can meet a coworker in any career or profession
Yes.
that becomes your friend. So whether you call it a client
Right.
or a coworker,
Exactly.
they
It's the same
are the
thing.
same because
Yep.
for us, we work by ourselves and that is the person we're working with,
Yeah. And some of the
not
things
just
that
fellow stylist.
exactly. And some of the things that we do, like recommend, I mean, they make us be together for maximum amount of time, like 3, 4, 5, 6 hour appointments. So we
Seriously.
have no choice but to be besties by the end. Like we
Exactly.
spend half a day. Like
We know all the things
we
too.
know all the things. It's like therapy and just gossip, girl, and all the good stuff.
Love it. How do you stay up to date with the latest trends and techniques? What motivates you?
Well, Instagram, like I love
Yeah.
watching Instagram.
Yeah.
I go into a rabbit hole of like people's pages and the new trending things and like I said, I'm a visual person, so anything I see, I'm like, "Oh, I want to try this." You know what I mean? Like I'm going to do this. And I have girlfriends who will let me practice certain techniques and things that I want to try on them, so that always helps. So, I love
Yeah, it
social
helps to
media.
have people to, practice on for sure,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I
Yes.
call them our guinea pigs. We need those.
Yes. Yes, exactly. We need them.
What advice, Aisha, would you give new stylists who are, just starting out in the industry? And, what qualities do you think are essential to having a successful hairdressing career?
Okay, well, I think for sure you need to be a people person because you're going to be with these people for, like I said, a long period of time. Even if it's just an hour haircut, that's still a substantial amount of time that you don't want to be awkward. So you want to be able to be a people person. You need to be a little bit outgoing. You have to love what you're doing. You have to have a passion for it because some jobs can seem very tedious. And if you're not a
Mhm.
passionate person about what you're doing and what you're creating, then it's going to come off in your work and the energy in the room will be off. And we don't want that. um
No.
Also, like I said, just don't overpromise and underdeliver. Give a very thorough and heartwarming consultation and let them know you understand their goal and you will do everything in your power to get there, but you cannot guarantee results in one sitting. Also, let's see what else I would say, to not take everything so personal. You can't please
Mm.
everybody. There's going to be some clients that are not going to be happy and they might keep coming back to you and they're never happy. So you just have to know, like, that's either a personal problem sometimes or it's not really a you problem sometimes. They might want to make it seem like it's a you problem, but it's not.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then lastly, I would say, like what my old boss Kelly Cole from Choppers used to always tell us, like if somebody comes back and they're unhappy, it's not a redo, it's just an adjustment. So just have that
Ooh.
mindset that like it's an adjustment. Everything, even though we're using permanent color, nothing is really permanent in the hair world. We can always fix things. Even if we cut too much, we can always add some extensions later. Like it's not the end of the world. Like we can figure this out. So those are my
I think that's a
advice.
great little mantra. It's not a redo,
Yes.
it's an
An
adjustment.
adjustment, and we're gonna get
I
there. It's okay.
always. And one thing
Yes.
I'll add that I live by to this day, and
Mhm.
again, applying it also to this new show, I
Yeah.
don't worry about and I posted on my threads recently, and nothing else has captured the attention of anyone except this one post I did just as I was thinking, just not really thinking. I just jumped
Right.
on there. I said, I don't know how many stylists need to hear this,
Hmm.
but don't worry about who's not in your chair. Focus on the
Right.
ones who are.
Period. That is
Cater to them.
exactly it.
That's
Just
it.
cater
And
to
then
those.
everybody's like, I needed to hear that. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And because you can get down when you've done I mean, you killed it in your
You
mind,
killed
right?
it. You did
It's like
everything
when
you could do.
yeah, it's like when you put an outfit together and you're like, oh,
This
okay,
is it.
this is it, right? And
Yeah.
you go out and crickets. But
Yeah.
when you throw something on,
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're really not
Yeah.
thinking
You
about
get the
it, you're,
most attention.
oh my God, that's so cute. Where'd you get? Oh my God, you look so, and you're like,
Yeah.
really today?
This
Like,
is just
right?
Goodwill. Like
Yeah.
nature.
And
It's
so,
so true.
I mean, get that out of your mind. Don't
Yeah.
even, whoever is not there, and you gave it your all. So you
Yeah.
did your job.
You did your job. And
You
if it,
can't guarantee, you can't make somebody like you, love you, want to come to you. Sometimes it's you. It's just
yeah.
the energy is not there. So,
Yeah.
or that person, they're just
Yeah.
miserable anywhere they go. So
Exactly.
don't take it.
Don't take it
Do
personal.
not take it personal
And
at
don't be
all.
afraid to let somebody know if it's just not a good fit. Like, listen, I feel like I've done everything that I can do for you. Maybe I can refer you to someone who would be a better fit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've done that a couple of times and they're like, "No, no, no."
I was gonna say
And
that
I'm
they
like, "No,
don't
no,
like to
really,
hear that.
because
They're like, no, I love you.
no, but I don't think you do. So I want to refer you to this person." And then they're like, "No, okay, okay, okay." And then they realize, like, okay, maybe I'm being unrealistic.
A little
And then they
extra.
kind of take a step back and realize, like, oh, maybe I'm the problem. And then you can assess and see, do you want to move forward with this person if they're going to be more understanding, or are we gonna separate?
And let's
So
not forget the part where they've been kicked out of everyone else's
yeah,
chair. And
they
really,
come
there
to you
is
with all the
nowhere else for
complaints.
them to go.
Right. Yes, I've heard of clients being like red flagged from other salons. Like literally, I've had a
Isn't
few of
that
those.
just,
It's crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing until I came across it. I was like, oh,
it is a thing for sure.
yeah, that's the
What do
truth.
you enjoy doing in your free time, Aisha? Like, how do you relax and, stay inspired while at the same time balancing that healthy work-life balance?
When I'm off of work, I am off of work. Like
You're
I
like,
am
I'm done.
I'm chilling poolside with a cocktail, having some lunch. Look, that is
Ooh,
my
my kind
go-to.
of girl.
I was like, I go to these resorts over here. I'm hanging out. That's what I do. I surround myself with people who I love. Like I'm around good energy, or sometimes I just need a day to myself to decompress. Go to the gym, take a nap, take a walk, take a hike. All of that stuff. Just as long as I'm getting some me time and some friend time, that's my ideal off of work day.
That sounds like a perfect
Yeah.
balance. You
Yeah.
got it. You got it
hmm
down.
That's what I
Because
do.
you need a little bit of this, a little bit of
A
that, a
little
little
bit of
bit of
that.
all of it. Because
Yeah.
you have to stay centered.
You have to. You have
What
to.
are
You
your
don't want to
future
overwork
plans?
yourself.
What are your future plans? Do you have any exciting collaborations or anything in the works that you're excited about?
I don't have any collaborations. I would love this.
Other than this one, by the
Right.
way.
I was like, except for this, like this was the most exciting up and coming thing. I was so stoked. So this is gonna debut soon. And then I have been putting together a kit to start teaching my own extension classes. So I
Ooh.
need to get that up and going. I'm in the process of a move, but as soon as I get settled, I'm going to get that launched and hopefully, start being an educator because
Are you going to
I
have your own hairline, or are you going to have your own extension education line, and
know.
have you created your own technique?
So I all of the technique that I do the most, I want to specialize in that when it comes to the extensions, but I want to teach all of the techniques. I want to teach
Oh, you
everybody
want
the
to just
technique.
teach extensions and
Extensions.
all things encompass
Yes.
that is
Yes.
okay. And
Yes.
see, I
And
tried to use a word that I can use that I
yeah.
cannot pronounce. I know what
Yes.
it means. Encompass.
Okay.
Here, I digress.
Ooh.
Well, I
And
think that's exciting. Will that be virtual? Is that something you'll do where you fly to them? Do they come to you? How
I
will
think
you?
I think when it comes to teaching and when it comes to hair, yes, I'm a visual person, but I'm also like a very hands-on person. You can tell me and show me things, but until I get my hands in it, like, do I feel very confident in it? So I do feel like I want to be, in person, 2 to 3 clients at a time on the mannequins or an in-person model, whatever you can provide. I put together a whole 40-piece kit. I'm going to supply you with everything from hair to shears to the beads, the sewing, the thread, everything that you're gonna need. I provide that, combs, everything, mannequin head, stand. So I just kind of want to be an in-person educator when it comes to that type of stuff.
Okay, I love that. And you have your own tools as
I
well.
do my own styling tools, if you can see. So
Woohoo!
I'll open one, and I don't know which size this is because I do have two sizes.
Okay,
So they're flat irons. This here is the 1 inch. So I have the 1 inch. Can you see
I
my
can.
logo? Oh,
Yeah,
there it is. Look. Oh, boom. There.
yeah.
So this logo is the same logo that I have tattooed here. It's my shop name, Debonair Styles. And
Committed. Love
look,
it.
it's back there. It means confident, stylish, and sophisticated. It's a French word. So when you leave here, you will be feeling all of that. So anyhow, yes, I have my flat irons. This is the 1 inch. I also have the 1.25 inch. The 1 inch does curl. So if you know how to curl with a flat iron, then this is your girly. And if not, if you have thicker, more hair and you want to kind of pan through it a little bit faster, then I have the 1.25 inch, which is a little bit thicker. And these are titanium plates with a thin coating of ceramic on top, just so that it is versatile for all textured hair. Because sometimes the titanium plates get too hot and can overprocess some hair. You know what I mean? Can kind of burn it if your hair is a little bit more on the fine side. But having the titanium underplate with a thin coating of the ceramic on top allows it to be versatile for all textured hair and all types. So
Wow, that's so well thought out because it's hard
yeah.
to find a duo of
Yes.
titanium and ceramic. And,
Yes.
and thank you for the education that
Yes. Yes. Yes.
titanium, although it gets hot as hell, it will also burn
It will burn.
your mess.
Yes, it will burn your hair.
Hell,
You will
honey.
ruin your natural curl if you have any. Like, you don't want to have it too much. But this is a
Done,
happy medium.
done, diddy done.
Yep. Yep. And it
Well,
does
where
go
can
up
where
to.
can we buy one of your flat irons?
So I do not have like a link or anything. You can
No,
just kind of.
Amazon? Come on, get on
I
Amazon. They'll
I
be gone in
know. I'm
5
coming.
seconds.
I'm gonna have my TikTok shop and my Amazon shop coming soon. Coming your way
Oh,
soon.
okay, good.
So
Well,
So as
please.
of now, yeah, as of now, you can just DM me on my Instagram page. That's debonair.styles, and DM me, and I will send it right over. Right now, I'm doing free shipping. So if you place an order, the 1.25 inches are $85, and the 1 inches are 75. And I'm
Oh,
doing free
doable.
shipping right now through the summer. So take advantage.
Woohoo!
Take advantage, girlies. So yeah,
I will be
super
getting
excited.
mine for
Yes.
sure to use
Thank you.
in my salon.
Yes, ma'am. You
Well,
got to give me your
congratulations
feedback.
on that. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
amazing. That's
Thank you so much.
exciting.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there now that you've got all these things, you
Yeah.
do all the things,
Yeah.
you started your career in the right way, which is why
Mhm.
you are now able to expand and
Yes.
pay 2 leases, I'm
Yes.
assuming.
Yes.
And that is amazing. You
Yes.
appeal to you're relatable to all textures, all
Yep.
styles, all the
Mhm.
extension techniques. You do
Yes.
brows,
Yes.
laminating,
Yes.
waxing. You
Yes.
do all the things. So I would say, I don't know how you're going to answer this, but I'm curious. Is there a particular story or moment from your career that stands out as especially rewarding or impactful?
Hmm. Um. Yes, the first time a young lady let me, she was suffering from alopecia, and she let me practice building a wig on her with the alopecia. And she was completely bald in the center, only had hair in the perimeter. And this was before I was certified to do the units through NSG, which I would be more confident in doing that now. But like the look on her face having a full head of hair after not having it for so long just really touched my heart, and it really made me feel accomplished. And I just love being able to make a difference in somebody's world, whether it's just a bang trim. Like, people just feel so much better with like a new look. So honestly, any and everything that I do, I feel you know rewarded. I feel excited to have made a change in that person's life, because their hair is like the first thing you see when people, so their hair is their self-esteem. And if their hair looks good, then they feel good. And that makes me feel good. So
Ah, that's amazing. You answered that just beautifully.
thank you.
I'm sure your clients appreciate you. What
Oh,
what
yeah.
advice do you have for new stylists coming into the industry? What is your best advice?
My best advice is, don't take it personal. Um, go into everything as a project, as a learning experience, and everything in this industry is trial and error. There's going to be a lot of trial, there's going to be a lot of error. So just understand that it's all a part of the process, and you're going to be great. At the end of the day, it's going to be great. Find a common ground with everybody and make sure you're doing those thorough consultations, because that is going to be key to their happiness and to your confidence in what you're doing.
Ah, gosh, I love you. Thank you so much
Aw.
for
I
coming
love you
on
too.
to
Thank
the
you.
show and
Thank you.
imparting
Thank you.
all of your wisdom to that next generation who I am so passionate about helping them along the way, because I know hairdressing and the beauty industry in general, it's a big world. You can get lost in it
Yes.
very easily, discouraged. And what do we do when we're discouraged? We quit. And
Yeah.
my job is to help you thrive and not quit.
Yep.
So I appreciate you for being a part of the trendy tribe
Thank
in that
you.
sense and coming on, because you were truly an amazing guest.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun. This is exciting. I love it. Thank
So
you.
now, to have fun with you, I
Yes.
call this the end of the segment, the
Oh,
60-second blowout. And
oh,
yes,
let's go.
pun intended.
Okay,
So
let's
I'm
go.
going to set a 60-second timer
Okay.
and then hit you with some rapid fire as
Okay.
we end our interview. Are
I
you
love it.
ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay. And I'm not even going to try to pretend like I can see.
Put
We're
them
going to
eyes
do
on.
this. Here we go.
Yes.
Favorite hair product?
Oh, Super Skinny by Paul Mitchell. Love that
Go-to
one.
hairstyle?
For me?
You.
Oh, to do. Go to hairstyle. I love a pixie cut. Ooh, let me do it.
Go-to snack during a busy day?
Mm,
This is you.
uh, cucumbers and celery.
Braids and twist, or braids or twist?
Braids.
Favorite hair color to work with?
Virgin hair color.
Early bird or night owl?
I'm a night owl for sure. I'm not a morning
Biggest
person.
hairdressing pet peeve?
Mm. Someone who does not give me an honest consultation, who did not tell me the truth.
Coffee or tea?
Neither.
Natural or glam?
Ooh. Natural during the week, glam on the weekends.
Favorite tool in your hair kit?
My styling tools, debonair styles, flat irons. Let's go.
Yes. And
Yes.
make your silliest selfie face. So cute. Love you so much.
Love you
And
too.
you have the best week, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I will now. You started off great. Thank
Yay.
you. Love
Okay.
you.
Love you too. Bye.